Yo, what's going on, guys? Man, we're back with another video, man. Say, hey, so we're gonna react to a video which is why parents of a 15-year-old say they fear he is a, yeah. So like, I'm not trying to get like another strike, so I don't know what to say in YouTube. So, okay.
A year ago, Robbie told me something that no mother wants to hear. That he had sexual urges towards his siblings as well as other children. He said that the only reason he hadn't offended them was because they were going to tell. But he also said that if he could offend them, he would force them to, and if it took it, he would tape their mouth shut and keep them quiet. I'm sorry, this is hard. When I heard Robbie say that, I felt scared.
But hey, say, so like I was watching the whole Jeffrey Dahmer documentary, and he was saying that he had them urges since he was a little kid. Boy, you started going down the wrong path, bro. I would say beat the fuck out of him, put him to like a damn therapist, bro. That shit's crazy.
Concerned.
Dr. Phil, oh.
Overwhelmed.
Fuck.
And just terrified.
No fucking shit.
I'm sorry. It was just such a shock that I didn't know how to deal with it.
Yeah, Dad, I just want to beat these. I just want to argue this kid so bad. Like, what you even gonna say when that happens, right? Because you're kind of like, what the fuck do you mean, like? Cause that's coming at your own kid, and like, damn, that's crazy.
Wondering where these urges came from.
I know.
Why suddenly he would start feeling that way?
We put a safety plan in place. That included installing locks on the kids' bedroom doors so that they could lock themselves in at night. Robbie was no longer allowed to be unsupervised. He was supervised 24/7 by either myself or my husband. Robbie was no longer allowed to hang out with his siblings nor any other children.
There were many times I had to take Robbie to work with me so that he could be supervised during the daytime.
I was doing everything I could to get him into that treatment facility.
In spite of everything we put in place, we were faced with a new challenge, which was...
Robbie came home from school, and he said that if we didn't get him help that day, that he was going to rape one of his siblings.
Okay.
He told me that.
Wow. Holy shit. Like, what the fuck is... Like, what the fuck are these kids on? The fuck? I mean, yeah, I guess, like, yeah. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. I see one thing, but this kid, like, I'm actually proud of him. Not because of what he's doing or what he says, but the fact that, if you're feeling that type of way, most people will probably not even tell their parents. They'll be so scared to even talk about it to their parents. But this guy, the fact that he actually went there and he's like, yo, dad, your mom, this is how I'm feeling, man. I'm scared. Get me here, boy. This is a W kid, to be honest.
Despite there being locks on the doors, that he felt like he would find a way to get to them.
I was blindsided with what he had said. We had no other choice than to remove him from the house.
So we took him straight to the hospital.
It was tough. It was very hard to make the decision to have to, what felt like, get rid of my son.
Yeah, you should. I ain't gonna lie to you. Control all delete that all.
We left him at the hospital, and he never came home.
Well, Kristen and Rick say that since Robbie has been in treatment, they've learned just how dangerous the situation really is.
For the past year, Robbie's been in treatment for children with sexual maladaptive behaviors. Since Robbie's been in treatment, we've learned so many more things, and the fear I had prior has been heightened.
Why?
By a million.
Why?
One of the shocking things that I found out is that Robbie prefers little boys ages 5 and under. In one of his psychological reports, we found out that he was interested in S&M. His sexual fantasies are so strong that it keeps him awake at night, and it's all he can think about. In his psychological assessment, Robbie has admitted to being aroused by 27 different violent scenarios, most of them involving young boys. Robbie has told me that acting on his impulses would make him feel extremely powerful, and he likes the idea of being in control, and victims will just get over things. Robbie does not understand or believe that consent is appropriate, and he's not capable of correctly identifying faulty beliefs and distortions.
Lately, he's expressed that he just wants to harm someone whenever he gets out.
Robbie believes that deviant sexual behavior is normal. He also doesn't.
Where the fuck did he learn this shit from? What are you talking about? Where the hell did he learn this shit from? He just he went to the hospital. He just came out 10 times.
Understand or believe that there will be consequences for his behavior. He will reoffend if he's given the opportunity, because he wants what he wants and when he wants it. Robbie told me that he would find a victim. He would find a way to keep them quiet. It didn't matter if he had to tape their mouth shut or hold them down, that he would find a way. And that's really scary.
Now that he's still expressing those desires, there's no chance of him coming back to the house when he's released. That's non-negotiable. He just can't.
Yeah.
Okay, Kristen, Rick, I'm glad you guys are here.
I feel bad.
Wish we were talking about something else. Almost anything else, right? I mean, This is a tough situation. You said that it was really hard to say the words son and pedophile together, right? That's just not something a parent wants to say.
It's quite terrifying to think that for so long we've sugarcoated it and said he's becoming a pedophile. But yesterday, for the first time, I said my son is.
Right.
I know how much Robbie's actions will affect his victims because I've experienced that myself. When I was in 4th grade, I experienced being molested. While Robbie was in treatment, his therapist thought it would be a good idea for me to share my experience with him. When I told Robbie what happened to me, he got upset and he cried. I had hoped that by sharing my story that I could break through to him and maybe he could see what it does to a person, but it didn't change the fact that he still believes that his victims will get over it.
Kristen says she knows what her stepson Robbie's victims endured because she was also abused as a child. It's because of that she will do anything to keep him from reoffending. You know what it's like to be on the other end and to be exploited, taken advantage of, and abused. Knowing that he has victimized 2 young girls, what impact did it have on you when you learned that?
I was devastated. I felt angry and ashamed and embarrassed. I didn't know what to do. I still felt like I wanted to help him, but then I was so mad. And I think it made me question things.
Did you get help?
No, sir. I waited until I was 22 years old to share my story with my mom, and she told me that people just get over it. And she told me that people just get over it.
That's a wild thing to say to a kid, bro. What the fuck? The fuck type of mom do you have, bro? I'm sorry, what the Oh yeah, people will get over it. What the fuck do you mean get over it? She was abused when she was a kid. Which means she would get over you. What the fuck are these parents?
And told me to get over it.
Damn.
So that's what I've tried to do.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Yeah, that's not how that works.
Do you have a theory as to what has triggered this in him?
When I came into their life, they had a man in their life, and him and his sisters would go visit, and it was very weird because he only wanted Robbie to visit. He wanted him to be there alone, and this man's obsession was just too much. So I put an end to that relationship because I felt like there was something definitely off about it. But when I've asked Robbie about it, he's told me he doesn't remember him being offended. But then there was this one weird conversation we had where he said, sometimes I wonder if he did do something to me and I just can't remember it.
So you think
Which
you may
uncle?
have been abused?
I wonder.
There's no question that that can have an influence. But when I said this is not something that you're going to be able to parent him out of, there are some real cerebral abnormalities that we see in pedophiles, particularly in the temporal lobes, that we don't see in the general population. And have they done anything to brain map this child to find out what's going on with him neurologically? Okay.
No.
I'm just curious if they've really delved in and looked at all of the different factors that add up to this behavior in the end.
Like, what the fuck?
Because it seems like they're just
Like,
washing
I just think that it was just with, like, Jeffrey Dahmer and them that after that, this bitch extinct. But what the fuck, you guys still... People still got these urges, bro? What?
their hands of him at this point. Well, the question becomes, what do Kristen and Rick do now?
Bro,
Because
Dr. Phil, I'm sorry, sometimes he pisses me off, bro. Because, like, you understand that he's trying to pull a show, right? This is all a show. There is business in it. And I'm just like, if you want to really, like, bro, you got so many other therapists you can go to. You don't have to go to Dr. Phil or basically anybody like that. You don't have to do that. It's just not needed at all. You just don't have to go to Dr. Phil. Like Dr. Phil, like he's gonna make it more on the media and make it on the news coverage and all that stuff. But yeah, I'm seeing his next video, but I found it kind of interesting. Bye.